Welcome to Milk and Honey. My name is Mari, and I just want to say that I got lied to, I got conned, I got deceived, and now we're back again with the frost cover. So I made a video about me hearing the frogs singing and that I thought that spring was here, and I actually think that's actually true. I don't believe none of this weather is natural. Conspiracy theorists coming your way. Put on your tin hats. But all of this, been a lot of action in my sky, and clouds look very weird to me. And yeah, so the frogs were singing for a while, and then all of a sudden they went silent. So we're back to winter covering. Yeah. It's only gonna be for today. Temperatures are gonna be in the mid-30s. It's not gonna be so bad, but because our trees got kind of roasted and toasted, we're just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, so my husband doesn't have to do it because he comes home late. So I'm gonna try to get as much done as possible. And I put all my ceiling trays inside my home 2 days ago because temperatures dropped like in the mid-40s, like low 40s. And they would have gone toasted as well. But thank the Lord, I was managed to get every single ceiling inside, and we'll see if my corn survives out here. I'm not gonna cover it. It's gonna be an experimental, see how much I could get away with in my own zone with growing corn so early. So right here we have, this is the red torch Mexican Tithonia, and we have a couple of them growing all over the place. And it isn't going to rain, so what I am going to do is I'm going to take my little covers that we don't use anymore, and I'm just gonna dump it on top just to protect it somewhat from the temperature so that my sunflowers survive. Okay, so one time I was in here like cleaning, like this is our like junk. Okay, don't look. But I was cleaning here. I was cleaning in the shed, and I was moving stuff out. And one time I fell off. I'll show you. I was trying to step down here because it's pretty high. It's like what, 2.5 feet tall? Maybe not like 2 feet tall. And I was stepping down, and I completely like fell on my shoulder, like completely like laid flat. And I was doing like those last minute chores before my husband got home, because then when my husband gets home, I go inside, I cook so that he could have his food ready, la 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 la. So I'm like, let me do this really quick. And then I come, I'm trying to rush, so I fall on my behind, on my shoulder actually. And I'm just like quickly, right, like super embarrassed. Nobody saw me, but it was still super embarrassing. And then I rush in because the food was already cooking. My husband knocks on the door, and he's like, what were you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, what's wrong with your shoulder? And I'm like, I was trying to hide it from him, and I'm like all dusty. I still have like grass and leaves on my hair. But yeah, I need to build some steps for the shed. Okay, so we got a couple of them done. And the only reason I'm doing this by myself is because I have church today. I have my church group today. And my husband stays with the kids. And it's a dirty job. Like, it's a dirty job. Otherwise, we will both be doing this. And it's just for one day. My Lord, just one day. These are probably gonna die off again. Our passion vines, I'm not gonna cover. They could handle like 30-degree weather, and none of the leaves died off. So I'm gonna let it be. I'm saying that because my passion is like 2 years old, and it has a really strong root system. Look at this one. This one is my smallest one. And this one is my largest one. Okay, I'm going inside to cook. That was it. I know everybody is under bad weather right now, whether you're in Tennessee, prayers go out to you, or you're West Virginia. My sister, they've been in the negatives for like 2 weeks already. So there is really nothing to complain about on my side except for some seaweeds dying, maybe a couple of branches of my tree dying. I'm not sure if one of my mangoes died. It looks very compromised, but at this point, I won't buy anymore. We'll just wait until we're able to have our own land and have a permanent greenhouse so that we could just lift the sides up, because this is way too much work and I feel like I'm gonna consider myself kind of still young, and I'm like, no, imagine when I'm like older. No. Either I move more down south, or we get a greenhouse, or we just grow temperate trees, which my peaches and citrus are doing fantastic. I will always consider having guayabas because they are so prolific, and I get tons and tons of harvest they are worth the time and the investment. And they could handle more cold chill hours. They could handle 27, 28 degrees mature. Some of the branches will die off, the leaves will die off, but the main trunk can withstand like 28 degrees, which is practically what we roughly get around here, except for those 2 or 3 days that we might drop. But other than that, we usually stay in the 29s and 30s, which is fantastic for a mature guayaba tree. Now, if you have flowering peaches or stone fruit, last time that our temperature dropped pretty low, like in the 29s, 27s, my peach tree was flowering and I thought all the flowers were going to be dead. I don't know if it's where I have mine positioned, but nothing happened to the flowers. I have like roughly 200 peaches on it right now, like baby peaches. Temperatures are gonna be in the mid 30s. I'm hoping the peaches stay. So don't be too scared, but obviously you still have a chance that you might not get fruit or the flowers might die off. But from my own personal experience, if temperatures do not drop below the 29s, below 30s, your stone fruits should be fine. My stone fruits have been fine with temperatures going in the 29s, 30s. So fingers crossed that yours do the same. And I completely forgot to harvest my cauliflower. Now it looks ugly, but it's still good. It's purple because of the sun, like I said. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just a little bit, it was separating, but still really good. It's not flowering. This is like, maybe I had like another week or two before it actually flowered. Before I go, I want to say that cauliflower grows better for me than broccoli. Broccoli bolts, meaning goes to flower way quicker. Down here in the heat, we battle the heat. So if temperatures go above 80, your brassicas, which is cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, wants to go and produce seeds. So that's what we battle here. Temperatures can drop to be like, today we're gonna be in the 30s, but next week we're gonna be almost 80. So brassicas don't like that temperature fluctuation. So that's why we have to have like heat tolerant brassicas. That's why I like my Savoy cabbages. And this is the snow crown. These snow crowns do produce really well over here. Obviously this one looks kind of like janky, but that's my fault. I should have harvested about a week ago. But if you want to try those, these are my broccolis. I get a lot of side shoots, but not a lot of big heads. I only had 1 year a really good harvest of broccoli, but we had a cooler winter that year. And these are the Savoy. This is a green and this is a purple. They do fantastic in our weather. All the other seeds, I think I'm just gonna do microgreens because I am done trying to grow other types of cabbages. They just don't produce that well. For me, because I don't tend to them, I'm kind of like set it and forget it. Either you survive or you don't, but I don't like to baby my vegetables. And these ones are fantastic. This year, I did not have the winter garden that I wanted to. My chickens kept escaping and they ate basically my winter garden. So I grew chickens for winter. That's what I like to see it. I don't like to see it as like boo hoo hoo, I don't have a winter garden. I see it as like, okay, I need to work on my confining my chickens, and I'll just try better next year to have a better winter garden. But my girls really enjoyed the greens and they were really happy eating them, and I enjoyed seeing their little butts wobble heading towards my cabbages. So no harm done. I enjoyed it. I enjoy seeing my little chickens, and next year I'll just try harder, or I just will do a big batch of chickens in springtime, but I don't have to be growing them multiple times a year. So maybe just 2 large batches, because in summertime my local hatchery, they have buy one get one free, so I'm gonna try to get some around that time if they have the sale going on, because chickens are like the new commodity, you know, like my gosh, chickens are going for crazy amounts of money right now, and eggs insane. But I'm gonna do my hiding my chickens for my HOA 3rd year. I'm just waiting for the weather to be a little bit better so that I could show off my girls. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, mamas. Hi, mamas. Hi, mamas. They think I'm gonna feed them.